Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put my game face on, it's PANCZASU! And welcome back to Endless Legend Guardians expansion Necrophages tutorial slash playthrough. Can you guess that I'm excited and ready for combat? I had to prepare myself indeed, as the Darklands have arrived and it's time to face them with all my wrath and all my might and all my abilities. A sit-rep for those of you who are not quite sure what is going on with me. Well, we are facing what I would call almost the worst situation imaginable. It can get worse, but it's statistically unlikely to get any worse than it is. Let's have a quick look at the facts, and yes, in case you haven't noticed it yet, this videocast is going to contain a lot of talking. I don't believe we will move through very many turns in this video. It's in fact very unlikely, because I need to discuss certain things. I'm going to talk about necrophage survival in an environment they're not fit for. So first things first, I'm playing as the Necrophages, and as I have said before, I believe, Necrophages are one of those factions that are the weakest when it comes to early defense. They are the factions that take the most time in order to build up their potential. The only other faction that can be compared to them in this regard, in my opinion, are the cultists. Both factions do not excel at early aggression, and both factions need time. If they're pressured early, then they're going to suffer greatly for it and be likely eliminated. Now let's have a look at my situation. I'm currently being attacked by Broken Lords. Broken Lords are the second best rush faction in the game, and while it's technically speaking not a rush, I mean they declared war on me on 10:30, that's not a rush, I don't consider this a rush, but it's still before I am quite ready for this. I still need a bit more time to build up. To be more exact, I need to have proliferators, and I need to have at least a few of those. I'm starting to think in fact that maybe I should have gone for the proliferator tech a bit sooner than I have, but nevertheless, the past is in the past. If I could change it, I mean in this series I would not have gone for citizen armies just yet and instead researched proliferator first. But like I said, the past is in the past, it's nothing to be worried about. Let's just improvise from here on out, shall we? So the Broken Lords, as I said, extraordinarily good early game rushing, as I have shown you in the past. I mean, I was able to knock out other mages by rushing them. I cannot think of any other faction that could achieve this feat, knocking out other mages, even if they were AI, alright? Even if they are AI, it's so hard to do. Broken Lords are amazing at early game rushes, but they do have some exploits that I can use, and I'll show them to you in a second. Still, they spawned right next to me. The capital is somewhere around here, I will imagine, because yeah, it does look like it's the case. And they expanded right next to me as well. Like, the distance between the two cities is 110. We can easily make an army and attack each other. It's as bad as it gets. It would be worse if those were actually other mages. That's the only situation where it would have been worse. So there is that part. Now, to make things worse than they already are, right next to me over here are the Wild Walkers. Now, on their own, Wild Walkers, I would say they're okay in early aggression. They are kind of like in between of everybody else. They can be good, but they don't necessarily have to be great. And, you know, it's just, yeah, they're a good faction for this. They're not the best, they're not the worst either. Nevertheless, it's bad to have them so effing close to me again. There's also very little natural barricade between me and them. Yes, there are some mountains over here, so I can defend this area, but the cities are here and here, so they can attack like this, and it's gonna be very hard to blockade them in any way, shape or form without at least sieging their cities and trying to be aggressive against the enemy rather than defend, which is extraordinarily difficult to pull off, especially for necrophages before they are ready again. So there's that, and to make things even worse, there are the Drakens to the south. Now, Drakens, you can say, alright, well at the very least they don't have cities right next to mine, right? Yes, the distance is quite big, which is actually a blessing for me. However, they are the Drakens. They have already been in a diplomatic relationship, no, let's try and say this again. They already had diplomatic relations with me since the very beginning of the game, because they are the Draken. They started from turn 1, and the way AI thinks is that, well, we had this relationship going on for a long time, we haven't done anything nice for each other, obviously, and now we are bordering regions. Even though I wouldn't say that we're contesting it, it's still an excuse for the AI, and also the AI thinks, alright, we're bordering regions, which means that we're very close to each other, which is not really geographically speaking true, but I suppose that's what it is. Which means that it's a target for me to consider. Those guys probably don't have other targets, maybe the Brocolods, but I can easily see myself being the most likely target for them. So they are most likely, if they're going to declare war on somebody, it's gonna be me. And they're also quite likely to declare war on me, because they have the dreadful unafraid strength of its army trait, which usually means AI is about to declare war on you. It might take it some time, but it will do it. Sooner or later, if it has this kind of unafraid reasoning strength of its armies thinking. It always happens, I have never seen it not happen unless you increase the strength of your armies to exceed the AI strength. That's the only way you can get rid of it. Unless you're very nice to them, maybe that can also help you, but I'm Necrophages, I can't really do that. I can compliment them. But the problem with compliments is, let's show you this right now. Compliments are nice, right? Because they increase the cost of declaration of war and whatnot. They also slightly alter the AI's view on you, but it's very slight. It doesn't save you. If they want to declare war on you, they will. And also look at that. I can compliment them for cheap, right? Okay. But I also don't gain a lot of influence, and the AI has over 200 influence stored. If they want to declare war on me, I cannot stop them. I'm not Drakens, I don't have this kind of power. So all in all, it's a really bad situation, and to make things worse, there are 4 players over here, which means that there are only 2 players unaccounted for. They could be anywhere. For all we know, they could have their own continent they are sitting on, and they are probably just sitting in prosperity over there, I don't know, farming each other, or helping each other, or doing whatever they want to grow. So they're going to be very difficult to deal with after I'm done with those 3 guys. So really, on a scale of 1 to 10, when 1 is a disaster and 10 is smoothly newbie land, I would say I'm around 3. Yeah, 3 sounds okay. So it's not a total disaster yet, but it's heading in that direction. So I need to do everything I can to fight the enemy. So let's do first things first. Get rid of this Nidia force, which is just being annoying and not doing anything in particular. So can you walk faster? Jeez, we're at war if you haven't noticed. Thank you. Alright then, I don't want my cellar to reinforce, thank you very much. Let's declare the auto battle. I have taken some damage, not a lot, it's not a big deal. Quest complete, digging in, got some glass steel, and next quest that's gonna ask me for titanium and ready spices. Well, spices I can get at the least, but titanium I can't, and it's very expensive to buy titanium or any other strategic resource on the marketplace. So it's not exactly ideal, but then again, the reward for it is great, 20 adamantium. I believe that even if I buy 10 titanium and then sell 20 adamantium right away, I'm still gonna be in great profit. So at the very least, there is that, I suppose. So it's a pretty good quest. I would need to have access to the marketplace and a bit more peace to do so. Also some bank, like some serious dance bank. So there is that then. Now, with this thing gone, what else will I do? Well, firstly, I'll show you some preparations. I have renamed all my cities, by the way, off camera. Keep in mind, I'm recording this, like, you're seeing those videos go live sometime after I recorded them. So I don't know if you gave me good city suggestions or not, but I thought to myself, well, I think I'm just gonna name my cities after Danganronpa characters, because Danganronpa is a game series that I really like, and I couldn't think of anything else, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for. My capital being, of course, Genosere, that being my favorite character in the series. So I love this character. Also, the stabling is similar to me, except with the exception of sex and me not being a mass murderer. Or am I? Anyway, let's not dig into too much to that and focus on what I've been preparing. So first things first, I have created a new unit for myself, and I have also retrofitted Necrodrones. As you can see, the Necrodrones now have added armor. I admit, it's a bit of a controversial decision, because Necrodrones are going to be glass cannons regardless of everything. However, I figured the enemy is going to spam a lot of starboards at me, most likely. That's what Brocolod's AI does most of the time. And I'll have to engage them head on. And more often than not, I'll not really be able to take opportunity to use the soup strike back. I'll need to go in and attack the enemy and force the disease and make sure that I attack from the angle I want to attack at. Which means that the enemy is going to fight in a favorable position because they'll have the block ability taken account for, and in general I'll probably take a lot of damage from my Necrodose. I want them to survive a bit more, and also, yeah, that's it. I just want them to survive a bit more. Also, additionally, it's a very big difference actually what I did, which in my opinion justifies the extra cost I put into it. Because normally, like 36 industry extra for a unit for not a lot of health and defense. Normally I wouldn't say it's worth it, but now look at this. I've got 46 defense, right? Look at the enemy. The enemy has currently 45 attack, which means that I'm just slightly above their attack with my defense, which means that they're less likely to critically hit me, more likely to critically miss me, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, wait, I got it right? I didn't make something. Yeah, I'm 46, they're 45. Yep. This guy is actually 38, but this guy is 45, and that's the one I was looking for when I was preparing this thing off camera. So I'm above their attack, which means that my Necrodons will gain a lot of survivability from those items, which in my opinion justifies the extra industry cost by quite a lot. Now the next thing I did is I created a new unit called Sickener. It's the absolute cheapest combination of items I can get to get the lowest industry cost possible. Nothing else can give me a lot cheaper industry cost. And what this unit does? Well, it just walks up to the enemy and applies disease. Disease works same way no matter how strong your unit is. It works based on how strong the enemy unit is. In case of Brockolots, it's pretty effing good because they tend to have quite a bit of life. I mean, Brockolots mostly focus on defense, but they still have a lot of life, so it's gonna work very, very well. So those guys, all they're gonna do is jump at the enemy, apply the disease, most likely die afterwards, but the disease is gonna work on them. Also, they have 31 initiative. If you look at my Necrodome, it has 30 initiative. So the idea is, Sickeners go in first, they apply the disease and take out the enemy counterattack. Then, I go in with the Necrodome for the kill without any counterattack, so the Necrodome comes out untouched. That's the theory. In practice, things will go a little bit more nasty, most likely. However, I'm gonna try to make things go this way. Work this way, rather. Alrighty then. Now the next thing is something that might surprise you a lot. Here's my Empire plan. What I was planning to do is go for extra attack on units, unit cost reduction on cities, and extra science on cities. That's not gonna be a thing anymore. What am I going to go for instead? Extra happiness on cities and cost reduction on cities. Unit cost reduction, rather. Why this particular thing? Why not extra attack? Well, it's simple, really. 30% attack is a big deal. I admit, it's absolutely great to have it. But right now I have too few units to benefit from that. Even though my units hit like a truck. I mean, Necrodos are amazing for attack. But I don't have enough units to really make this Empire plan worthwhile, in my opinion. I do need to have more units, which is why I stick with this thingy through. But what is more important is to get more happiness. Why? Well, it's very simple. Let me apply this first. I can still change it until the 10 ends, but I want to apply this. So what is going to happen? I've got a settler right here. I can still try to colonize this region right here. Why can I do this? Well, Wild Walkers are not at war with me yet. So I would have a city over there. It would at the start lower my overall approval. It would also cost me to maintain it and so on and so forth. Yes. It would also probably be taken away by the enemy AI. Yes, I am aware of this. However, by putting a city over there, I guarantee that the city will be over there. If AI takes it, it will be there. Instead, if I let the AI colonize this region on their own, they'll probably put a city in some kind of fertile location like here, or there, or somewhere. And I'll cry, really cry, because this is a great region to colonize actually. I mean, again, look at this, it's really quite nice. So I do want to, if at all possible, be over there. There was another anomaly somewhere. Unless, have I imagined it? I thought there's a fourth anomaly here. Maybe I imagined it. Regardless, it's still a good place to be and a good place to colonize, and I still want to be there. I mean, there's a lot of food, industry, science, and even a bit of dust to boot. So I like it. So there's that. And also, if Brockolots capture it, again, there's a little amount of dust in there, but barely any. So they're gonna have a lot of trouble maintaining the city. So again, extra bonuses. If they take it over, be my guest, they'll just raise it, but at the very least the city will be in the right spot. However, if I want the city to be there, I'll need to, well, obviously send my settler and settle it down, but this will cost me approval, which, hold on a second, let it update, there we go. My capital is currently content. I cannot allow it to go below that, because then I will lose 20% of my food and industry growth, which would be a disaster. Especially since I need to get those canal locks out there ASAP, like seriously, I need to rush those things. So I need to make sure that my approval is high enough, which I can do by going for the Empire plan I just set up. Alternatively, there's one alternative to what I just explained. I cannot expand to this location at all, and I can send a settler over there to launch a counterattack on the enemy. I know, it might sound crazy, but it would actually work. I would find the nearest city, I would besiege it, yes, the settler would die, but it would delay the enemy, confuse the AI, slow down the enemy assault, buy me a little bit more time. Not a bad idea in my opinion, but I want to try going for extra city. And I'll see how it works out. Both options are viable. Both options are perfectly viable. Do not be afraid to use sellers as attack units against AI, because keep in mind you can retreat with them 3 times, because they do heal up between the turns, which is, you know, not that bad. And this guy has 5 speed, so he can move a lot. So both ideas are a good idea. Now then, lastly, I know I haven't done anything this time, I've just been talking, but there's a lot to talk about, you know? So lastly, how do you really fight against the Broken Lords? You might ask. Well, honestly, you have to abuse their advantages and turn them into disadvantages. So what's the most defining feature of Broken Lord's military? They do not heal. Normally they heal with dust. Which means that what you have to do in order to fight a war effectively against the Broken Lords as the Necrophages is to use your advantage, that being disease, against the enemy disadvantage, that being no natural regeneration. So what you do is you send in very small armies, cheap armies of Sickeners to intercept the enemy armies. They'll slow down because they'll block the path towards your cities, and they'll engage in combat with the enemy. They'll die, yes, but they'll attack multiple times, apply the disease. The idea is that in combat, you run into the enemy, apply the disease, and then run away and try to prolong the combat for as long as possible for the disease to tick in as much as possible. So the enemy will take extra damage, and then after the combat is over, the enemy will not heal up, unless they want to spend dust, which, be my guest, AI, there's one thing the AI has problems with, the only one thing the AI has problems with, and that is the dust. AI can never figure this thing out, and usually has problems with dust, so if you force the AI to spend a lot of dust, you're in a pretty good spot, I would say. Additionally, when it comes to bigger battles, what you can also do is you can, in fact, well, all you have to do is fight. You don't have to necessarily make it a decisive victory or whatever, but keep in mind, you want to fight, you don't need a natural decisive victory right away. What you do want, however, is to have all your units survive, even if you take some severe damage, because keep in mind, you heal up, the enemy does not. Abuse this fact to the maximum, abuse. This is the only way you can hope to survive against the Broken Lord's onslaught. Literally the only way. Alrighty then, let me create an army and move it forward a little bit. I forgot what was over there. I mean, there was a Wild Walker unit somewhere, so let me see where I can move. Okay, I want to settle there as soon as possible, so I'll move to this town right here. The enemy will attack my cellar. I mean, that is going to happen, but I can retreat a few times, so it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna settle down here and it's gonna be lovely. How much will I gain everything? Yeah, 11, 10, 10, 3. If that isn't a good FTSE output, then I don't know what is, for crying out loud. It's really good, highly above average. So there is that done. Everything else I can now disperse. And now, the final thing, actually 2 final things, I'm sorry. It's still 10:30, I know, but it's important. It's gonna define my whole strategy. So firstly, research. Like I said, I should have gone for the proliferator perhaps a bit earlier. My mistake, but hey, mistakes happen, nobody's perfect. I certainly am not, I'm far from being perfect. And in all honesty, you're also probably going to make some mistakes. Don't be afraid to admit it. That's how you learn, and that's how you become better. So I now know for a fact I should not have gone for citizen armies, I should have gone for proliferators, just so that I would have them as a safety measure, so I could start making them ASAP if necessary. Right now, in fact, I would love to pause the construction of canal locks 110. As much as they are super important, I could use at least one little proliferator right now. So there's that thing. But anyway, what I'm going to go for next is I'm going to go for cannon fodder. Why? Because I expect myself to have a lot of dust plants very quickly. Right now, this dust expenditure I'm having is coming mostly from the cellar. Cellars take a lot to maintain, and once I settle a city, it's not going to go away either, at least not very quickly, because this region doesn't give you a lot of dust, as you have noticed. Cannon fodder does reduce your military upkeep by a lot, by half, as you can see. Military upkeep is actually, as you can see, quite severe, 26 dust right now, and I'm going to make a lot more units, which is going to increase the upkeep by even more. So this is going to save me a lot of dust, especially in the future, and I'm gonna need it, because I don't have time to increase my economy right now. I just don't. I need to create my army really quickly, really big. Why? This comes down to diplomacy again. I have 2 options to change diplomacy. either be nice to the AI, carouse them, have deals with them and whatnot. But I'm Necrophages, I can do it. The best I can do, like I said, is compliment. That won't work. Not in the long term, no. So what else can I do? I can increase my military strength. By spamming units, I'll increase my military strength, make it less likely for the enemy to attack me. And if they do attack me, I'll have units to throw away. To buy myself more time until I get my proliferators, I get my necrodons, I get my everything. How do I do this? I completely abandon all hope of creating a good, economically strong empire. I will not be able to do this. No, it's not gonna happen. I've been attacked, I need to focus on defense now. So, let's look at Komaru. I will still make the spice extractor, because I think that spice is extraordinarily useful, and now that I have this quest, it's even more useful. But I didn't know that beforehand. And additionally, what else is there? Well, the Sickeners. I killed up 3 of them at least. I might make it more so. 3 are the bare minimum. I'll have them just sit here. Maybe I'll send some of them towards Brokolots, but I'll also have them guarding the city in case the Wild Walkers decide to attack me from surprise. By surprise. Chihiro doing the same things. Doing the same thing. Mostly Sickeners. Also look at how I moved my population into industry production in both cities. Even though Komaru was supposed to be my food growth city from City Hall, and I was also gonna give it the Hunas village so that it would grow from the Cool the Head trade that I have, which gives me extra 2 food per pacified village. But right now I need to abandon those dreams and hopes. I need to make Sickeners, and I need to make a lot of them. They're extremely efficient units in combat because of the disease, mind you, and because of how cheap they are. So I have to do it. This is going to be the only thing that will allow me to survive, and that is a definite truth. Definite truth. So now, I can breathe and end the 10. Yeah, it's only taken me like 22 minutes or something, and I have finished my first 10. Wow. Whew. That took forever, and oh boy, double oh boy, and oh come on, I wanted negotiation tactics. Well, I suppose it's not the worst thing ever now, because, well, like I said, I no longer really care about economy. I need to focus on other things, and right, I'll talk about that in a second. That's really annoying, but that's always going to happen. And oh, hi there. Alrighty then, so let's talk about things one at a time, because a lot of things happen this time. Man, I have a feeling, I don't know why, that this video is going to only feature 2, maybe 3 tales. Yeah, but you gotta expect that, I'm sorry. Also, I forgot to do one very important thing. Grow Genocider. I had this food thingy last turn already. I should have used it ASAP on Genocider, so that she would grow nice and healthy and give me canal logs faster. I'm almost tempted to reload last turn and re-record this entire videocast because this is a huge oversight, but the past is the past. I hate myself when I make those kind of dumbest mistakes ever, or whatever. Okay, so first things first, bad news. Somebody is in Era 4. Who is it? Let me guess. It's the Wild Walkers actually. Well, no, not necessarily. It's the Wild Walkers completed a deed. It doesn't mean they are in Era 4. Somebody's in Era 4. I don't know who. But regardless, somebody's in Era 4. Which means that AI automatically completed the Glorious Father quest. That always happens, you cannot stop it. Why? Because Endless AI is always at 100% approval, so they auto-complete this quest as soon as they get it, and it's just a random roulette between who completes it. So even if you, for some reason, have a 100% approval, which is doable for the Necrophages, mind you, in multiplayer especially, I recommend going for Demanding Gods trait, which allows you to grab this Glorious Father, is it called? Yes, Glorious Father trait instantly, because you just sacrifice a bit of population and get to 100 approval. Nice and easy, it's gonna annoy a lot of other players, trust me. But when it comes to AI, don't do this, because even if you can add 100, then the game is going to randomly pick between you and the AIs as to who is gonna get Glorious Father. Not worth it. You're never gonna get it, ever. So there's that then, it's annoying. Wild Walkers are about to be super rich. Immovable Force, I will not have access to Hyperion in ages. And also 800 fortification, that's gonna be rather difficult. And Eldo Riga, again, I won't be able to make it anytime soon. And what next? A Death of Dust. -2 dust on terrain with dust, that's actually pretty good. My empire is a small empire, so it will be hit the least compared to the enemy's big empires. And the Brokolots need their dust, so again, that's absolutely amazing. I'm actually kinda happy about it. Only 4 10s, but still. Negotiation thingies and the Benevolent Emperor, yeah, that's the thing we were talking about, as expected, taken away instantly. So, sorry, I've been talking for a long time and I've been talking really fast, but let's go ahead and have a fight, shall we? So first things first, this enemy army, I mean, they're gonna die. Let's no, not auto battle. I wanted to go for hold position, ready to fight. So keep in mind, my Necrodons do have the whatchamacallit, strength back ability. I want to use it if at all possible, but I also want to fight in a favorable position. So let's have a quick think about it. Firstly, move a little bit back so that I can think freely without you in my face necessary. Go away. Alrighty then. So the enemy has free movement. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I cannot make the enemy come to me and use my strength back ability effectively. Why? Because if I do this, the enemy will stand in forest and have a lot of defense. So I think it's in my best interest to come to them and attack, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So let's firstly make sure that I have the absolute maximum amount of morale when the battle starts. I do have high initiative across the board, so this is something to take into consideration. So the slowest units first. So the Forager, you only have 2 movement. I should have another one in there. So you're gonna walk to this tower, I suppose. And in general, like I said, I'm going to do my best to ensure that I have the maximum amount of morale everywhere, so that when my reinforcements come in, my units will start with a huge morale bonus, and then I'll try to swarm the enemy. Wait, 1, 2, 3, and attack this guy. This guy will be able to move, it looks like. Oh well, I'll let him. I do want to have extra morale approved, because look at this Forager. He's got maximum morale, 89 attack, 86 defense. This is ridiculous, and I love it. So you attack him. My hero is going to, let's see. My hero can walk to this tower and attack this guy, which means that this Necrodon is gonna attack this guy as well. Then I have, let's see, this guy has to attack from here because he cannot walk through forest. So this guy is gonna walk through here. Why? Because I don't want this guy to attack a Necrodon that I'm gonna send to here and attack like so. So this guy now will only be able to attack like this Forager most likely, who will have a decent morale bonus, so he will not take a lot of damage at all. Then we've got another Forager. Let's move him over here to this flank so he's closer. Oh, actually, yeah, he's got the first 10, so he has nowhere to move to right now. Militia, I just wanted to move in this general direction, I suppose, and then the last Necrodon is gonna move to this town to provide my other units with a morale bonus. So I think I moved everybody. And also Militia, I don't want those guys to default to hold position because they're in the back already. So I want to make sure that they do something rather than just stand in place. So let's launch the battle. It should go relatively well, I would imagine. I also drank all of my water. Crying out loud. I'm thirsty. I need to drink. Oh well. So anyway, let's wait for the battle to resolve. Man, I need to drink so badly. And there goes my luck. I got myself a critical miss with a unit that has full morale. So yeah, what were the odds of that? I actually didn't look. I will need to check it when I compress the video, I suppose. But whatever, it happened, I suppose. Not a very big deal. So the enemy is going to waste most of their counterattacks, and the unit that still has the counterattack will have to attack the unit with a block ability, thus dealing less damage, which I'm entirely okay with. So now the enemy doesn't have really good morale, and I don't have the best either anymore, but I still have acceptable morale, I suppose. So now what I'm gonna do is move my hero around a little bit so that I gain a bit of extra, you know, I gain the high ground advantage, which is nice. Then you stay where you are. No, I can't make this guy stay where he is because then my militia will not be able to attack. So you move like this and attack. You continue attacking as you are. Let's see, this guy is first, so you attack first, so this Necrodon is undamaged. Or actually, this guy has already taken some damage, so I don't want him to take too much damage, I want him to survive. It's very important to keep your units alive, especially against Brocolords, because keep in mind, the Brocolords do heal up. Okay, I'll attack from high ground. I'm getting rid of some of my morale bonus, but at the same time, attacking from high ground is, for the most part, worth it. And I can increase my morale by moving this guy nearby as well, which is nice, I suppose. Now you guys move like so, to increase my morale yet again. And it should be mostly okay. None of the enemy units will be able to move anywhere, because I'm taking away all the battle action points, which is nice. And nice, the enemy actually missed me, which is absolutely lovely. And I get a decent hit over there. I mean, a decent hit, a normal hit, and a miss with 25% chance, go figure. But now I know I need to evacuate this forager, because if I let him be killed, he'll heal the enemy, and I'll lose this unit, which I don't want to happen. I want this guy to automatically heal up. Obviously, thankfully the other broken lords have been killed, which will lower the morale bonus for this guy, and also allow me to safely retreat this guy. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You do Necrodome. Well, let's see here. This guy still hasn't taken the extra damage, so you attack him. You attack him. Then you attack him. And because this guy will be attacked first by a forager, I can move my Necrodome to attack. And then my hero will take some damage from off of this guy. Actually, no, he will not, because he's got the lowest initiative. I need to boost my hero's initiative so he acts before Necrodomes. Hopefully I'll remember to do that between videos. I really hope I will. So then you move over to this town and attack like so. You move over to this town to attack like so, so that you will need to move to this town, I suppose. You move over here, question mark? And I think that's everybody. Is this guy attacked? Yes, but by not too many people. Then again, I do have Necrodomes that will be able to attack the leftover guys if necessary. Then again, this guy will have disease and will take a lot of damage already. So let's see, who will attack with first? Well, unfortunately, looks like the hero. If I attack with a Necrodome, it will take some damage. But then again, this Necrodome can take damage. It's almost at full life. I suppose it will be okay. Alrighty then, let's start the battle again. I'm not really starting the battle, but proceeding with the battle, I suppose. Partial hit, and then I got a partial hit again, I think. And a regular hit. So far so okay. And the enemy, it looked like they had a complete miss, but I actually did take some damage, so I'm not sure what was going on over there. Maybe it was the disease proccing and it showed up on the weird position on the screen. I'm not too sure, I don't care too much either. Alrighty then, so those two guys will automatically die because of disease on the next turn, which means that the last guy... Oh, I didn't realize I have empty spot over here, oops. So this last guy is the only guy I need to focus on killing. So let's firstly make sure that I attack him with somebody who can. Now, do I have a forager who can survive the attack and is in position? Not really, I cannot do that. Oh well, in this case I'll use this Necrodome. So this Necrodome can attack again later, that will be fine. And you just move away, it's nice and easy. You move away, you move away, you move in and attack, you move in attack, you move in attack, you move in attack. I'm basically making sure that none of my units that don't need to attack the enemy will... I'm making sure that my units will not attack the enemy needlessly, because the enemy will die regardless because of the disease. So as to, you know, not take unnecessary damage. Although I think if I were to attack an enemy who's about to die anyway because of disease, the enemy would be killed before any damage is resolved, so it would be fine. Anyway, let's make sure that everybody dies. My militia has taken some damage, which is okay, and it looks like it was necessary for me to use my militia in that one situation, but this guy died automatically, which is nice. Okay, then 4 units killed, I have taken some damage but didn't lose anybody, and I will heal over time, mind you, so this was, in all honesty, pretty good for me. So with that being said, I can now freely settle down my city, like so. Come on, you can do it, there we go. I'm gonna rename the city right away because I know perfectly how I want to call it. Hiyako, there we go. A nice little girl who may look like a bully. She's cold from the outside, but I know in heart that she's deep in the inside. I hope. So there we go. Hiyako, you cannot grow in a single turn regardless, unfortunately, so I'm gonna make you wait. And actually, there's titanium in there. Holy F! Titanium, that's absolutely amazing. I do want titanium, so let's give titanium extractor. It's gonna be rather useful, if you don't mind me saying so. Actually, after Mill Foundry is a bit more important. And steel storage is probably the least important. I don't care if those guys starve to death in there. I need to have more dust, I need to have more titanium, and I need the city not to be awful in general. So there is that done. I still need a few more cadavers. And I cannot assimilate Hurnas yet because I was not even planning on assimilating them just yet. Alright, so what else will I need to do? Well, I'll probably need to attack the enemy city, as in literally attack it. And besiege it, so that I slow down the enemy, I weaken the enemy economy, and so on and so forth. But this army right here needs to heal up, and currently because of the amount of damage it has taken, it wouldn't be able to really retreat enough times. I need a full health or almost full health so that it would be able to retreat 3 times and keep the enemy city besieged for a bit longer. This is what I'll use my Sickeners for. In fact, maybe yeah, I need a Sickener ASAP over there. So I'll do it like this. And Komaru, I'll give it a bit more time so that she grows a little bit. So there's that then. I'll not move my main army. Maybe a little bit to scout. Yeah, and then I'll move backwards, I suppose. So let's have a quick look-see. I do not see any more armies nearby, so I'll move back now. In case you're wondering why I want to move back, I want to make sure that the enemy cannot... I not only cannot move to Genocida, but I also want to be able to move into Chihiro quickly if necessary. There's road connections, so I can move in there very fast if I spot that the enemy actually is about to invade it. So there's that done. I'll end my turn and end my videocast. Man, 35 minutes, 3 turns. Not even, because 110 tech is speaking started. But yeah, it was actually 3 turns per se. And enough is enough. Well, is it war? The aggression during will be punished. Oh, it's just a warning. Alrighty then. They're not declaring war on me yet. They're just saying that they are about to declare war on me. That's good to know, I suppose. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it was PANCZASU, also known as the Mighty Mix Spammer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online.